Hi, my name is Yalon. I'd like to to tell a story regarding the Baba Sali. This story involved the Baba Sali. And again, Moshe, I knew him through mutual friends, and I used him like my guide to this kind of events. The story starts with a good friend of mine that I work with him. He's Moroccan, a very dear friend. He asked me one day to come over to his office and get a check, a job that I did for him. He was like kind of in a good mood, and he was like, I'm looking for the word, joking and kidding about the kibbutznikim, the guys from the kibbutz, Israeli kibbutzim, that they don't believe in nothing. And you, the kibbutznikim, you eat pig and stuff. And since I was in his office, not his office, but the office that it was, there was it was a picture of the Baba Sali. I thought to myself, and again, I won't dare to say what I said at the time. And I was like joking to also, and I was like, and you're the Moroccan, you believe in the Baba Sali and your BS and stuff. And again, this is nothing to do with what I said at the time, that I won't dare to say it again. And he looked at me like, be careful, the Baba Sali is going to punish you. And big deal, you and your beliefs and I don't know, I won't dare to say whatever I said at the time. Anyway, I said bad stuff. To make the story short, I went back home, and he gave me the check. I went back home, and at the evening I was already sick. Terrible headache, high fever, and when one thing happened at the time, you don't make the conclusion, you don't tie the knots, nothing. It started with I'm sick, and I remember taking my dog Roger outside. He was a nice Cocker Spaniel that I had for a long time. He lived long. Well, I'm gonna tell the story. I took him out to do his stuff before I'm going to sleep, and I'm very sick. I felt bad. I headaches, high fever, and I'm going out, and I'm like looking at my dog, and I'm happy that he's okay, and throwing him the ball. He used to be a freak, running after the ball, throwing the ball again, and he ran after the ball, and like he stepped on something, and I was so I pick him up. I'm looking at his feet, and everything is fine, but he was limping and didn't feel very well. I mean, he just was limping. I took him back home, went to sleep. Saturday morning, I'm waking up, and the dog just doesn't move. I try to move him, pick him up. The dog is like laying on the floor, doesn't want to move. I remember me crying because the people saw me on the elevator crying, carrying my dog outside to do his stuff. He could barely walk. I put him on the floor. He was like limping and barely doing his stuff, and I went in panic. Saturday, I looked for a vet. I went to a vet in the valley, and the vet told me, look, your dog have a disc, dislocate link, I don't know how you said, dislocate his back, and give him this medicine, and you're going to be lucky if after a month he's going to walk. And he was like, look, there's no reason to make a Röntgen. There's no reason, but because it's very expensive, but you know what, take another opinion. I took him to another opinion, and it was a Chinese doctor, and again, he tell me, look, I give you this pill, give him for a month, and if after a month he feels good, we'll see what we do with it. And I came all crying, all sick, with a sick dog. I came back to the house and tried to think, what went wrong, you know? One thing after the other goes wrong, and what can I do? And then of course I'm like, okay, just a second. I cursed the Baba Sali. I said very bad things about him. And I got sick, my dog got sick, it's not going to help. It's not going to be bad. There's no bad in asking Moshe if there's any connection, to connect the dots. And Moshe told me at the time, Yalon, you did a very, very bad thing, because A, you're not supposed to say a bad thing about nobody. You're not supposed to nobody, except on top of that, not about the Baba Sali, which have a very, very strong power while he was alive, and still have very, very strong powers until today. And Moshe, what should I do? I did the mistake. What should I do? So I was like, well, do you have a mezuzah kshera, like a kosher mezuzah in your house? And I was like, no, I just once put a plastic there, like I bought someplace a plastic mezuzah, but I don't think is... Well, find a mezuzah kshera and put it on your house. Of course, not in Shabbat. Wait for the Shabbat to finish. So find yourself a mezuzah and put the mezuzah, and then put a kippah. Of course, you have to do the blessing for the mezuzah. And after you do that, please put your hand on the mezuzah, put the kippah on your head, and ask for forgiveness with all your heart. Ask for forgiveness from the Baba Sali. Which I did. I had another friend, a good friend of mine, Shlomo. He's like, Yalon, I have a mezuzah kshera for you. Yeah, this is a great occasion. You're a good friend, and I have this mezuzah kshera, and I put it in your house as soon as the Shabbat is going to end. At the Shabbat end, my friend Shlomo came over with the mezuzah. He helped me. We said the right bracha, and we put the mezuzah. I put my hand on the mezuzah with the kippah, and I asked for forgiveness from the Baba Sali. Again, I was sick, and my dog still on the floor. He didn't want to. He still didn't move. I have to take him out to do his things. I went to sleep all half crying, half whatever, hoping for a better day tomorrow. And the day tomorrow came, and I opened my eyes, and my dog like in front of my face with the ball in his mouth, ready to go to play. And I'm like, Roger, just a minute. And I didn't want him to move that much because I was afraid he's going to dislocate his back again, but the dog didn't care about nothing. And he's like, with the ball, I hide the ball. I didn't want him to run after any ball. But he went outside, walking, running. I felt like I was never sick myself. And again, I was like in the beginning very, very cautious about my dog. Don't run, don't move. Until I realized it just like the weight came, it just passed away. Just like there was nothing there anymore. And he was running, jumping, everything. And I'm all like happy, like, you know, I hope this, I'm just waiting for this to put this behind me. And I'm all happy, and I'm supposed to meet, so that's, again, you can say one coincidence, another coincidence, and another coincidence. I'm going to go for the next part of the story, because it didn't end there. The next Monday, I was supposed to meet another friend of mine and get a check from him for a job that I'm doing. My name is Yalon, I'm an electrician, I'm here for 20 years, I came from Israel 20 years ago. So I had to meet, like electrician, I get a lot of people give me checks. I mean, it's supposed to pay me when I'm done with my work. So I went to meet this friend, and I was like, let's meet in Starbucks on Ventura. And the one that came to my mind was the one on Ventura and there's a Starbucks on Ventura and the Coldwater Canyon, not too far from Coldwater Canyon. And I went to visit him there, to see him there, but I guess he went to another Starbucks. But while I'm drinking coffee in Starbucks, another friend that I didn't see for like about 7 or 8 years, I didn't see him, a very good friend of mine, we used to be very, very close. He was another salesman from another company, he came over, hi, how are you? And again, I don't want to say his name because he asked me, he was very, please Yalon, don't say my name, and in a minute you guys understand why. So how are you? How time is treating you? I got divorced, I got separated from the mother of my son, and he was like having a good, he just opened a company, everything was working very good for him. And then the other friend came over calling me, and he went to another Starbucks in Ventura and Coldwater or something like that. And he decided to join us. He came over to join us. I believe my friend Shai, this is my friend, again, I don't want to say his name. and meet each other. Oh, how are you? I open a company. Oh, I'm a salesman. I'm there. And I'm like, guys, I have to tell you a story, you know, about the Baba Sali. And I'm like telling the story, and the guy that I didn't see for the long time, that again, he asked me not to say his name, is asking me, he's just laughing, he's sitting there laughing, like all happy with himself and whatever. Yalon, this is not the end of the story. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Listen to what happened to me. And I got good, and everything is fine, and everything. And he's just sitting there and smiling to me, and I'm like, Yalon, let me tell you something. My father is coming from Morocco, from the same city of the Baba Sali. And when I was born here in Israel, not here, when I was born in Israel, he was born in Israel, actually the Baba Sali was my godfather. And the reason that you see me here today, and we didn't see each other for so long, and I know you, Yalon, you're a good friend, you're a good person, and good whatever. And I have these stories, a lot of these stories to happen to me during the years. And if I met you here today, it's for a reason. You have to understand that it's for a reason. And the reason is like, I bet that everything is okay. It's like, Yalon, you don't have to worry. Everything is fine. Everything is going to be fine. And that was the last coincidence that of the story. It's, again, I'm saying coincidence. There is no coincidence, and it make me a believer. I believe in the powers of the Baba Sali. And the dog, by the way, lived all the way to 19 and a half years. He was in perfect health, and he was jumping and after chasing balls all the way to 18 years and a half. And he lived until 19 years and a half, which is a long and nice life for a dog.